I never said most of the things I said. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. If you don't know where you are going, you might wind up someplace else. Keep trying. Stay humble, trust your instincts. Most importantly, act. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. If the world was perfect, it wouldn't be. In theory there is no difference between theory and practice. In practice there is. If the people don't want to come out to the ballpark, nobody's going to stop them. I'm a lucky guy and I'm happy to be with the Yankees. And I want to thank everyone for making this night necessary. I liked St. Louis when they were in the American League, because that was going home. I had all my family and friends there. Mickey Mantle was a very good golfer, but we weren't allowed to play golf during the season, only at spring training. If people don't want to come to the ballpark, how are you going to stop them? How can you think and hit at the same time? I didn't know much about golf growing up. I liked George Weiss when he was with the Yankees. He loved the old-timers' day. He loved it. And he invited all these people to come, all these players to come. You better cut the pizza in 4 pieces because I'm not hungry enough to eat 6. A lot of guys go, "Hey, Yog, say a yogiism." I tell them, I don't know any. They want me to make one up. I don't make them up. I don't even know when I say it. They're the truth. And it is the truth. I don't know. I was in the invasion of Normandy in southern France. There are some people who, if they don't already know, you can't tell them. If people don't want to come out to the ballpark, nobody's gonna stop them. Almost every Monday I have a charity thing. I like that. I do. I usually take a 2-hour nap from 1 to 4. You can observe a lot by just watching. Half the lies they tell about me aren't true. I never blame myself when I'm not hitting. I just blame the bat, and if it keeps up, I change bats. After all, if I know it isn't my fault that I'm not hitting, how can I get mad at myself? So I'm ugly. So what? I never saw anyone hit with his face. I enjoy now doing what I do, playing golf, relaxing a little, enjoying life. If I didn't make it in baseball, I won't have made it workin'. I didn't like to work. I never figured I'd go into the Hall of Fame. A kid from the hill. Little League Baseball is a very good thing because it keeps the parents off the streets. He hits from both sides of the plate. He's amphibious. If the world were perfect, it wouldn't be. It's pretty far, but it doesn't seem like it. The future ain't what it used to be. You should always go to other people's funerals, otherwise, they won't come to yours. It was impossible to get a conversation going, everybody was talking too much. Love is the most important thing in the world, but baseball is pretty good, too. You've got to be very careful if you don't know where you are going, because you might not get there. I wish I had an answer to that because I'm tired of answering that question. Baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. You wouldn't have won if we'd beaten you. I don't blame the players today for the money. I blame the owners. They started it. They want to give it to them. More power to them. I don't like seeing myself on television. I don't like it. I always got nervous the nights we played in the World Series. First pitch, I was nervous. Then after that, forget it, I'd start playing. The other teams could make trouble for us if they win. If you come to a fork in the road, take it. I just want to thank everyone who made this day necessary. Slump. I ain't in no slump. I just ain't hitting. I never said half the things I said. I always thought that record would stand until it was broken. The towels were so thick there I could hardly close my suitcase. I'm not going to buy my kids an encyclopedia. Let them walk to school like I did. Always go to other people's funerals, otherwise they won't come to yours. When you arrive at a fork in the road, take it. Baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. Congratulations. I knew the record would stand until it was broken. You don't have to swing hard to hit a home run. If you got the timing, it'll go. I'm lucky. Usually you're dead to get your own museum, but I'm still alive to see mine. If you ask me anything I don't know, I'm not going to answer. I think Little League is wonderful. It keeps the kids out of the house. I tell the kids, somebody's gotta win, somebody's gotta lose. Just don't fight about it. Just try to get better. Baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. If you get a guy that can play a couple positions, it helps you out a real lot. When you come to the fork in the road, take it. When watching a Steve McQueen movie on TV, he must have made that before he died. No one goes there anymore, it's too crowded. One warning, and if the infractions continue, we throw the flag. Nobody goes to that place anymore. It's too crowded. I wish everybody had the drive he had. He never did anything wrong on the field. I'd never seen him dive for a ball, everything was a chest-high catch, and he never walked off the field. Baseball is 90% mental, the other half is physical. If the fans don't come out to the ballpark, you can't stop them. I ain't the ulcer type, but I'm always worrying about something. Yogi called the 1969 New York Mets overwhelming underdogs. When asked what would he do if he found $1 million, Yogi responded, "If the guy was poor, I'd give it back." You got to be very careful if you don't know where you're going, because you might not get there. You got to be careful if you don't know where you're going, because you might not get there. You gotta be careful if you don't know where you're going, otherwise you might not get there. You give 100% in the first half of the game, and if that isn't enough in the second half you give what's left. That's his style of hitting. If you can't imitate him, don't copy him. Always go to other people's funerals, otherwise, they won't go to yours. For a spring training drill, Yogi instructed his players to pair off in threes. That I'm not hitting, how can I get mad at myself? This is like déjà vu all over again. If you ask me a question I don't know, I'm not going to answer it. Interviewer: why, you're a fatalist. Yogi Berra: you mean I save postage stamps? Not me. Hey, Justin, Holland, it's tough to throw with two throats around your hand. How long have you known me, Jack? And you still can't spell my name. You can't think and hit at the same time. You can observe a lot just by watching. You've got to be very careful if you don't know where you're going, because you might not get there. The future isn't what it used to be. Amplifying on the things improperly attributed to him, Yogi said, I never really said all those things I said. When I'm sittin' down to dinner with the family, stuff, another yogiism, just pops out. And they'll say, Dad, you just said another one. And I don't even know what the heck I said. Without a plan, even the most brilliant business can get lost. You need to have goals, create milestones, and have a strategy in place to set yourself up for success. Every entrepreneur deals with fears of failure. However, the truly successful know how to face these fears and keep on working. I love baseball, I really do. I always told my dad, I'm not gonna make it working. I like to play ball too much. Which I did. I played hard. You gotta work at this game. You really do. And it's fun doing it if you do it the right way. Records and achievements are made to be broken. Forecasting is very difficult, especially when it involves the future. You can't make anybody do anything, if they don't want to. If I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again. Failure is just another opportunity to start over. I didn't really say everything I said. What difference does the uniform make? You don't hit with it. Thanks, you don't look so hot yourself. You can tell a lot just by looking at it. It's fun, baseball's fun. That's too coincidental to be a coincidence. I guess I've got a smart wife. If you don't know where you're going, when you get there you'll be lost. I don't mean to be funny. Make a game plan and stick to it. Unless it's not working. Referring to the bad sun conditions in left field at the stadium, it gets late out there early. Yogi ordered a pizza. The waitress asked how many pieces do you want your pie cut? Yogi responded, 4. I don't think I could eat 8. Swing at the strikes. I'd say he's done more than that. If people don't want to come to the ballpark, how are you going to stop them? Yogi Berra, The Yogi Book, to Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig about lagging baseball attendance. 90% of the game is half mental. He can run anytime he wants. I'm giving him the red light. All pitchers are liars or crybabies. In baseball, you don't know nothing. It's never happened in the World Series competition, and it still hasn't. I'd find the fellow who lost it, and, if he was poor, I'd return it. I don't know, I'm not in shape yet. I can't concentrate when I'm thinking. If I didn't wake up, I'd still be sleeping. The ballparks have gotten too crowded. That's why nobody goes to see the game anymore. We were overwhelming underdogs. It's not over until it's over. What makes a good man? It ain't like football. You can't make up no trick plays. Third ain't so bad if nothin' is hit to you. If the fans don't want to come out to the ballpark, no one can stop 'em. It's getting late early. It's not too far, it just seems like it is. Pitching always beats batting, and vice versa. Never answer anonymous letters. When giving directions to Joe Garagiola to his New Jersey home, which is accessible by 2 routes, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. On why he no longer went to Rogeri's, a St. Louis restaurant. Nobody goes there anymore because it's too crowded. I'm in no condition to drive. Wait. I shouldn't listen to myself, I'm drunk. Losing's a great motivator. Some things don't always work out the way you plan. The main thing is to keep trying, do better next time, and deal with disappointment if it comes. I really didn't say everything I said. When asked what would he do if he found $1 million, Yogi responded, if the guy was poor, I'd give it back. 90% of all mental errors are in your head. The game is supposed to be fun. If you had a bad day, don't worry. You can't expect to get a hit every game. A nickel is not worth a penny more. Nothing is like it seems, but everything is exactly like it is. 80% of the balls that don't reach the hole, don't go in. The hardest thing is to get started, but the really hardest thing is to finish. I can see how he, Sandy Koufax, won 25 games. What I don't understand is how he lost 5. How can you hit and think at the same time? Buy a stock, if it goes up, sell it, if it goes down, don't buy it. Half the game is 90% mental. I've been with the Yankees 17 years, watching games and learning. You can see a lot by observing. I don't want to make the wrong mistake. 50% of all married people are women. If you're feeling good, don't worry. You'll get over it. Glen Cove. Referring to Glenn Close on a movie review television show. If my father was alive to hear that, he'd turn over in his grave. Cut that pizza into 6 slices instead of 8, I ain't that hungry. 90% of the game, baseball, is half mental. You can have everything you want as long as you don't want it badly enough. Bill Dickey learned me all his experience. I take a 2-hour nap between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. The future isn't what is used to be. Laughter is the shock absorber that eases the blows of life. Man was not made to travel faster than a baseball. You don't need Little League. You don't even need 9 kids. For is plenty a pitcher, a batter, and a couple of shaggers. You can play ball all day long. My kids used to try to get me out there, but I'd just say, go play with your brothers. If kids want to do something, they'll do it. They don't need adults to do it for them. Why don't you pair 'em up in 3s? It is a disturbing conundrum that true free will cannot exist without the possibility of suicide. Then again, it ain't over till it's over. It gets late early out there. Nobody did nothing to nobody. I hate to see it go, I'll tell you that. I played here all my life. 18 years I played here and I'm sorry to see it go. How come it rains every Hall of Fame weekend? They need to move it to a different weekend. I don't know. How hot is it supposed to be? The game was 2 hours, with the commercials. I wish they did that now. What a house, nothing but rooms. Anybody who can't hear the difference between a ball hitting wood and a ball hitting concrete must be blind. What the hell is wrong with him now? Yeah. For what paper? I don't see how he lost 5 games during the season. In theory, practice should work like theory. In practice, it doesn't. It ain't the heat, it's the humility. A good time to hit is with men on base, because the pitcher ain't got no place to put you. He's going to get that ball around there somewhere. He don't want to walk you. Congratulations on breaking my record. I always thought the record would stand until it was broken. It was pretty good. Even the music was nice. You gotta call a blacksmith. If you're going to cheat, it's better if you don't get caught. I really didn't say everything I said. Then again, I might have said, but you never know. If there's one pitch you keep swinging at and keep missing, stop swinging at it. Okay you guys, pair up in threes. It was hard to have a conversation with anyone, there were so many people talking. I couldn't tell if the streaker was a man or a woman because it had a bag on its head. As a general comment on baseball, 90% of the game is half mental. I wish everybody had the drive Joe DiMaggio, had. He never did anything wrong on the field. I'd never seen him dive for a ball, everything was a chest-high catch, and he never walked off the field. The only color I don't have is navy brown. I don't know if it's good for baseball, but it sure beats the hell out of rooming with Phil Rizzuto. I didn't say the things I said. A home opener is always exciting, no matter if it's home or on the road. Bill Dickey is learning me his experience. In baseball, you don't know nothing. On being the guest of honor at an awards banquet, thank you for making this day necessary. Doing the little things can make a big difference. I'm glad I was in the Navy. Well, I used to look like this when I was young and now I still do. Texas has a lot of electrical votes. Everything should be built top-down, except the first time. Nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. Texas has a lot of electrical votes. During an election campaign, after George Bush stated that Texas was important to the election. You can't win all the time. There are guys out there who are better than you. Listen up, because I've got nothing to say and I'm only gonna to say it once. Nobody comes here anymore, it's too crowded. Cut my pie into 4 pieces, I don't think I could eat 8. 90% of putts that are short, don't go in. A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. You have to give 100% in the first half of the game. If that isn't enough, in the second half, you have to give what's left. Nobody can be all smiley all the time, but having a good positive attitude isn't something to shrug off. Anyone who is popular is bound to be disliked. You can get old pretty young if you don't take care of yourself. How long have you known me, Jack? And you still don't know how to spell my name. Never answer an anonymous letter. We made too many wrong mistakes. Why buy good luggage? You only use it when you travel. He must have made that before he died. 90% of this game is half mental. If you can't imitate him, don't copy him. Baseball player, what time is it? You mean now? It's like déjà vu, all over again. Every time I see him, he's not there. Anyone who understands jazz knows that you can't understand it. It's too complicated. That's what's so simple about it. Even Napoleon had his Watergate. You can't think and hit the ball at the same time. You can see a lot just by observing. The future is not what it used to be. It ain't over till it's over. I've always felt real blessed, especially to live in this country. If you dream hard and work hard, anything can happen. Here I am, perfect proof. Making predictions is tough, especially for the future. Little things are big. We're lost, but we're making good time. You stand up for your teammates. Your loyalty is to them. You protect them through good and bad, because they do the same for you. Yogi saw 3 of his players in the locker room wearing cone head hats. Yogi said, "Those guys make a pair." Surprise me. Yogi's reply when he was asked by his wife, Carmen, where he would like to be buried. The game isn't over till it's over. If you don't set goals, you'll never reach them. Or like they say in golf, if you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. Take any player in the major leagues, I'd say just about every one of them had a dream, a goal, to be a big leaguer when they were kids. It wasn't an easy goal, but it was a reachable one, and that's important. I knew I was going to take the wrong train, so I left early. It's tough to make predictions, especially about the future. Life is a learning experience, only if you learn. I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous. Whatever you do, you should do it with feeling. When the waitress asked if I wanted my pizza cut into 4 or 8 slices, I said, 4. I don't think I can eat 8. If you don't set goals, you can't regret not reaching them. Responding to a question about remarks attributed to him that he did not think were his, I really didn't say everything I said. Prediction is very hard, particularly when it's about the future. I don't know if they were men or women running naked across the field. They had bags over their heads. Losing is a learning experience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you to work harder. It's also a powerful motivator.